Hello, this is CK Problem 7 again with another commentary for Disney vs. Non-Disney Villains Part 2, Round 3. First up, we have Anastasia vs. Ramses. Dr. Facilier sends Anastasia with the magic wand to go free her mother and sister from Ramses. But will Ramses let her mother and sister go? At first, Ramses isn't impressed about the wand, but Mansley is pretty familiar with it. And Anastasia sends out a bunch of plagues on Egypt. Like Sirens of Women brought up, I was pretty surprised at the outcome of this fight, because I too was expecting crop shots of Lady Tremaine's hands. But just with Anastasia waving the arm around, waving her wand, it just makes it look really good. Ramses lets them go, all to Mansley's horror. Now Suroosh versus Valmont. Suroosh, from Disney's The Hunchback of Notre Dame, is recruited by King Ratcliffe, I guess for more protection, as well as entertainment, since he runs a circus. But is soon attacked by Valmont and his gang from the Jackie Chan Adventures series. I don't remember much of Suroosh, though, because it's been forever since I've seen The Hunchback of Notre Dame 2. And as for Valmont, I may have seen a few episodes of Jackie Chan Adventures, I don't remember exactly. Also, nice use of more footage of Frollo's guards as well. Anyway, yeah, Valmont and his gang are here to get the first talisman to free the dragon known as Shendu from his stony prison. Aside from that, not much else to say about this fight, other than it was well edited. I know I keep saying that a lot about these fights, but it's true. It's like, over 96% of the time, you guys make these fights really well edited and well thought out. And I guess Suroosh escapes, leaving Valmont behind with the talisman. Alright, now we have Anton Severius versus Baxter Stockman. Xanatos sends Severius to foil Stockman's plan to recreate a clone version of the robotic coyote. I guess that's what's happening. I don't know much about these two villains since I've hardly watched either show they're from. Although, I do know that Severius is voiced by Tim Curry, so I thought that was interesting. And I noticed he used a scene from Heavy Metal 2000 of the Immortality Vial being dropped, and break, and shattered and all. And I'm guessing Severius wins, and Stockman escapes. I'm guessing that's what's happening. Okay, Odin from Disney's Atlantis Mall's Return versus the Snow Queen. Hades sends Odin to take out the Snow Queen for fear of her wrath on Shan Yu will be a threat to his plans of world dominance. Nice to see Odin in this series, because I've seen the second Atlantis movie a couple times, and it was an okay movie. I mean, I think I like the first Atlantis better, but the second one was pretty cool as well. Even though most people just aren't into direct-to-video sequels, but for me, it's just really hard to hate a Disney film. There are very few Disney villains. I mean, I can't think of any Disney movie that I dislike. And it's interesting that the Snow Queen only... It's already the third round, and she's already defeated. I'm guessing it's because either she doesn't have a lot of footage, or you just don't have enough room for her in the storyline. Okay, MacBeth versus Destro. Destro and the Baroness plan to send a missile to Xanatos' headquarters, and Xanatos sends MacBeth to stop their plan. I don't know much about these villains, but all I do know is that they're both Scottish, and they're both anti-heroes. And between the two, I think I like Destro more, because he's not really much of a villain, I would consider, from what I read about him. Because I mean, yeah, he tries to kill his enemies, but in a more honorable way, and he really does care for his allies. Like right here, where he picks up the Baroness and saving her. He really does care for his allies, so I wouldn't really consider him much of a villain, because he's such a gentleman. Anyway, the Fearsome 5 from Disney's Darkwing Duck versus the Gangrene Gain from the Powerpuff Girls series. Anyway, after the downfall of the Cruella Medusa Empire, Negaduck, along with Quackerjack, Bushroot, Liquidator, and Megavolt, all decide to take over, while Ace and his gang go to the Underworld and ask Hades if he can give them powers of their own. And Hades, although disgusted by their appearance, eventually gives them the powers, but says that they'll regret it later and that they'll have to pay for it eventually. Like I said before, I never watched Powerpuff Girls, so I don't know much about the Gangrene Gain, although they do seem like a pretty interesting group of villains. And I've only watched a few episodes of Darkwing Duck, so I don't remember much of Negaduck, but he seems like a pretty cool villain. As with the rest of the other villains. And the Gangrene Gain just take out the Fearsome 5 one by one. Starting with Bushroot, and Liquidator, and Megavolt, and finally Quackerjack. Negaduck just make an escape. I'm just wondering though, I mean, I know Negaduck makes another appearance, but will you show the rest of the 5? I mean, I'm just wondering if they'll make another appearance, because they still have quite a bit of footage left, I believe. And finally, the Beagle Boys from Disney's Mickey, Donald, Goofy, the Three Musketeers versus the Schlubber Brothers from Rock and Roll. After the downfall of Mock, Maleficent and Pete send the Beagle Boys to infiltrate his lair and hack into his supercomputer. Nice to see the Beagle Boys, although I was expecting more of the DuckTales version, or there's another version, I can't remember where they're from though. But it's nice to see these versions of the Beagle Boys, and it's also nice to see the Schlubber Brothers given a role. Toad, Sleazy, and Zip. So yeah, we have basically a minion fight going on here. We rarely see those in this series. I think the only other minion fight we've seen is the Pan and Panic vs. Hotep and Hoy fight back in round 10. I think. As well as the Game War in round 12. But yeah, now for the epilogue, where Arugasaki punishes Stockman for screwing up.
Minor setback. With your continued funding, the research can continue immediately.
You must pay the price for failure, Dr. Stockman.
And every time he screws up, he loses a body part.
No, where are you taking me?
I really would hate to be him. And Valmont gives Shendu the first talisman.
The talismans will allow me to be free of my confinement and walk the earth once again.
And Odin has 5 new allies that he calls the Acolytes. Devimon from Digimon, Heke from Hercules, Odin from Heavy Metal 2000, the Dark Dragon from American Dragon Jake 1, and Dallon Wan from Jackie Chan Adventures. A lot of allies. Eris and Zekil Khan summon a new ally. Aku from Samurai Jack.
Once again, I am free to smite the world as I did in days long past. The gods have awakened!
Technically he's a spirit, not a god. Mock meets up with Forte and asks him to resurrect his 2 allies, Professor Screw Eyes and Hollywood. Like I said, I totally dislike Hollywood, but I am glad that Screw Eyes is back in the game.
I have a much more amusing idea to bring the house down.
Really cool that Mock and Forte are teaming up. They make it a very interesting alliance. And Leia Tremaine summons the zombies of Moonscar Island.
Do you realize what this means, riches, revenge.
So yeah, this is getting really intense. And so many unanswered questions, like, what does Tremaine have planned with the zombies, and what does Odin have planned with his 5 new allies? But I guess those will be answered as the series goes on. So yeah, this is Secret Primal 7, and have a nice day.